Welcome to our PBL video on ageist microaggressions in the workplace, presented by Katie, Julia, and Melissa. Meet Principal Thompson. Mrs. Thompson has dedicated 45 years to education, beginning as a primary teacher and later serving as a literacy consultant and learning resource teacher. She's been an elementary school principal for the past 20 years. Rooted in empathy, integrity, and transparency, she champions equity and inclusion, fostering a supportive school environment where all feel valued and respected. During a staff meeting, a teacher suggests integrating a more technology-driven approach to classroom learning. Mrs. Thompson, always eager to support her staff and students, embraces the idea and commits to learning more about it. At her monthly principal meeting, Mrs. Thompson is presenting her new approach. She struggles to display her presentation. As she troubleshoots, staff grow frustrated. "Technology can be tricky at your age. I can just do it for you," a coworker says. Though likely unintentional, the remark is hurtful. Self-doubt creeps in. Am I holding my staff back? Am I still the right person for this role? While she has always been dedicated to growth, she wonders if it's time to step down. Ageism refers to the stereotyping, prejudice, and discrimination against individuals based on their age. It can manifest in various ways, from everyday interactions to unfair treatment in hiring and promotions. It involves generalizing beliefs about older adults, negative attitudes, and unfair treatment in hiring, promotions, and daily tasks. Older adults are often associated with declining abilities, leading to condescending behaviors such as baby talk or unnecessary assistance. They may also be perceived as a burden on society, reinforcing exclusion from opportunities such as workplace training or medical research. More than half of global companies do not currently include age in their diversity and inclusion policies, highlighting the need for further policy development and implementation. In its most harmful forms, ageism can result in human rights violations, limiting autonomy and leading to neglect or abuse. Microaggressions, as defined by the Canadian Centre for Diversity and Inclusion, are subtle actions that expose bias against marginalized groups. In our scenario, Mrs. Thompson experiences ageist microaggressions through comments like, "Technology can be tricky at your age," which assume incompetence based on age. These remarks diminish her experience and contributions, negatively impacting her confidence and well-being. Mrs. Thompson, students, staff, and the school community are all impacted by this problem. Mrs. Thompson may feel her competence and reputation are questioned, affecting her confidence, leadership, and job performance. Students who witness similar remarks may feel uneasy, and if disrespect goes unchallenged, it could weaken their understanding of respect and value in the school. If consequences or sensitivity training are implemented, co-workers may feel uncomfortable or defensive, potentially leading to tension in workplace relationships. Unchecked microaggressions can undermine the school's culture of inclusivity and respect, shaping broader interactions. Workplaces can combat ageism and microaggressions through education, awareness, and clear response strategies. This includes EDI workshops, educational resources such as webinars, videos, and literature, as well as professional approaches to addressing bias, such as seeking clarification or expressing concerns. Calling out and calling in are two approaches to addressing offensive or problematic behavior, differing primarily in tone and setting. Calling out involves a public confrontation, often direct or firm. It can result in arguments due to its confrontational nature. In contrast, calling in is a private and constructive conversation aimed at fostering understanding and education. In the context of our problem, calling in can be an effective solution by addressing the ageist comment privately and encouraging reflection without creating defensiveness. A colleague or supervisor could take the individuals aside and ask for clarification of their remarks, or express calmly how their remarks reinforce stereotypes, helping them recognize their impact. This approach promotes awareness, inclusivity, and mutual respect, while also helping Mrs. Thompson regain confidence in her leadership. By fostering a culture of learning rather than shame, calling in supports a more positive and respectful workplace environment. Workplaces can address bias constructively by establishing a shared vocabulary. A purple flag system could signal microaggressions, prompting awareness and reflection. If used after a comment like the one toward Mrs. Thompson, the speaker could recognize its harm or seek clarification. This fosters a safe, effective approach to addressing bias in the workplace. Safe spaces encourage individuals to share vulnerabilities around controversial topics with respect, transparency, and sensitivity. They provide a welcoming place for individuals to share. Brave spaces extend on this by encouraging participants to learn from others by asking questions and educating themselves further. Safe spaces focus on creating a comfortable and supportive environment, while brave spaces emphasize personal growth through challenging discussions, acknowledging that meaningful learning about diversity and social justice often involves discomfort and difficult conversations. Creating brave spaces for educators fosters growth, inclusivity, and collaboration, helping teachers become more effective educators and leaders, ultimately enhancing the overall school environment. Educators play a key role in identifying policy gaps and advocating for inclusivity. By assessing workplace policies and pushing for age-inclusive hiring, they ensure experienced professionals are valued. Providing staff training on bias and microaggressions fosters awareness and accountability, driving policy changes that promote fairness and respect. The most practical solutions include educator awareness programs, calling in, and creating brave spaces. These strategies can be integrated into professional development with minimal financial investment, fostering a more inclusive workplace. Additionally, establishing a shared vocabulary promotes accountability while maintaining a supportive environment. However, implementing these changes comes with challenges. Resistance to change is a common barrier, as some staff may be reluctant to acknowledge unconscious biases or adjust long-standing workplace norms. A lack of training and resources can also make it difficult to deliver effective equity, diversity, and inclusion workshops. Finally, fear of retaliation or discomfort may prevent employees from speaking up, as they may worry about workplace tensions or repercussions. Ageist microaggressions may seem minor, but their impact is significant, leading to self-doubt, reduced confidence, and exclusion in the workplace. These subtle biases reinforce stereotypes, undermine experienced professionals, and create a culture where age is seen as a limitation rather than an asset. Addressing ageism through awareness, inclusive policies, and professional training is essential to fostering a respectful and equitable work environment. By recognizing and challenging these biases and promoting accountability, we can work towards creating workplaces that value experience, encourage intergenerational collaboration, and ensure all employees feel respected and empowered.